But that's okay. We're going to find some good moods by finding brighter areas to hang out in, right? Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. It is Wednesday Wisdom, 4 o'clock on the dot, getting started. Alicia and I have some great photo tips for you today, and also just some great creative inspiration to help you live wonderful and anchor you into the present moment. And we have a good word to kind of wrap our conversation around today, and that is the word mood. And let me tell you, I have been in a mood lately. We have had some personal big changes happen here. You know, the word that comes to mind with mood is emotions, man. My emotions have been flying like crazy, complete extremes.
It happens to the best of us for sure. So you're not alone.
I know. So before we dive into these photo tips, I kind of want to talk a little bit about what this word means to us and how we can use it to kind of anchor us into the present moment and really think about how we are being in this world, and how we may want to be a little differently, how we can have creative control over how we see things, how we make choices, the mood we are deciding to be in. So when you think of mood, Alicia, like what comes to mind for you? Do you have anything that's going on in your life right now that you feel like your mood comes up? The idea of mood shows up?
Yeah, I broke my nail today, halfway down my fingertip. I've never seen my skin before like that, so it put me in a damn mood.
Yeah, it's so painful.
It's very painful, and it made me feel like, why do I even need these? It's just, you know, to accentuate a look or a mood that I'm always going for, but it put me in a different mood.
You know, that's true. Like our appearance, right? Whether it's our style or like, especially as women, our accessories, we like use that appearance of ourselves to put us in a mood. And yeah, and sometimes you have to wear certain things that, you know, are supposed to create a mood, but maybe it's not who you really are. Like, you know, if I have to go out, I've been doing these preschool shoots, and originally I was like, oh, I need to wear like really, you know, strict uniform, make sure I'm not showing any crazy logos. I have to be really, so I was wearing like white button downs and black pants, and I'm like, this is not me. This is supposed to create some mood, but it was giving me a bad vibe, a bad mood. So
yeah, you definitely can't go down that road. Make sure you're comfortable and confident in what you're wearing.
Yeah,
I do it all the time. I just shot a Boston magazine event last week, and I ended up getting something really cool, but it fit my mood and it fit the confidence that I was, you know, showing off. And when I talked to people, they're like, I love your hat, or you know, it really got everybody like in the mood too. The fact that I wore this big damn hat that was really cool and out there.
That is, that's something I didn't think we'd bring up right now, but this is really cool because when we work with brands and businesses, especially, we have to associate a business or a product with a person, right? So, and anything in life, whatever it is you're selling or creating, you could be selling your kids the idea of eating vegetables, doesn't matter. Like you're still creating this idea and this mood to get people to want to do something, right? So with businesses, I'm always not just finding out what kind of personality the business owner has and maybe how they're going to come across, but I'm thinking about the brand's mood and who, you know, how the vibe of these photos need to be. And I can only imagine for Boston Magazine that, you know, there's this, I don't even know the magazine, but I'm imagining like
called the Boston Man, and there's a lot of like professional athletes on the covers, like from the Patriots and stuff like that. So I knew I had to show up in a great mood.
Yeah.
So, but also, making sure I was able to be seen too. You know what I mean? Like I am a part of this event, show yourself in a creative way, but be
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
and be professional at the same time.
Yeah.
So,
And that was your kind of client, because there's something bold and strong about that kind of a brand. And your style is bold and strong, your personality as a photographer, as a person, knowing you personally, but also your fashion, your style.
yeah.
So
She always calls me bougie, people.
yeah. But like, you know how to play into that. Yeah, and you know how to play into that role, right? So guys, if you're not already like following Alicia, go, it's Alicia Lens is her Instagram. And that's where you shared some of those. I'm picturing the hat. I know, I remember seeing you in that hat. And there's something about like the control we have. And I know we're photographers talking here, but this goes for anybody in any profession, even as a parent, in any part of your life where you want that real confident control over what you're doing. You really have to create the mood. And if it's your outfit and your style and you need to show up to an event looking bold and powerful, then put on something that's going to put you in that mood, right?
Yeah.
And it's going to get other people in that mood. I love that. I can only imagine, like, how can you not like say something about that hat when someone confidently is, walking around, and you obviously have a camera in their hand and they're playing the part, but you add that into the brand by showing up as part of that mood and personality that's going to fit their style, and it's going to attract the right people to you.
Yeah, and it always does. And the real underlying thing that you just said was it's not just about looking the part, it's about feeling the part. So that mood, you want to put yourself in the best type of frame of mindset, going in there confidently. I mean, like we've said in previous webinars or discussions with the Wednesday Wisdoms, like it really is about, and you got to get over that fear. Like, all of these big events, I don't know these people. I walk into, you know what I mean? Of course I'm going to be anxious. Of course I'm going to have a little bit of fear. Like, am I going to do well? Is it going to be too dark? Is it, you know what I mean? Like, is it insane?
But if you don't have a little bit of that pressure, then what's the joy in like going to your edge and really feeling that creativity, right?
Yeah. So I might spend a few more bucks on the outfit to feel and look the part. You know what I mean? Make sure I have the right shoes. Make sure I look and feel great. And I think that's so important.
And the same goes true if I'm going to someone's home to shoot a newborn shoot, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to show up in super comfy yoga pants that have pockets in them. I'm going to be able to move around. I'm not going to have any fluffy clothes on, and I'm going to show up calm and relaxed. I'm probably going to meditate before and just put myself in the frame of the feeling that I want this baby to feel relaxed and calm when I'm shooting them. I want mom to feel comfortable with me. So
mood is definitely about energy, for sure. If you have good energy and you're carrying it into your shoots or wherever you go, with whoever you're with, then I think that attributes to the mood.
Exactly. And all of these words relate. We say it every time, guys, but when I'm getting together all of our stories because it's about to be a new year, believe it or not, it's October, and I'm already thinking about 2021. So I was reviewing some of these words we've used this year, and every single one of them push the other one into fruition. So like, when you have great energy, you create a mood, right? Now that mood sets the tone for the style and the feeling and the pictures that you want. So, and with that mood, you get to elaborate on your story a little bit more. So, I can't emphasize this enough, that if you are running your own business and you're just doing social media posts with your iPhone, mood still matters, energy still matters in your visual stories. And it kind of comes second nature to people like Alicia and I who've been doing this for many years, but it's also not. It's also so easy to just rush ahead and feel like you've got to have it figured out. And when we step back and just think about these really simple but powerful techniques of like, well, what kind of mood do I want to portray in this photo? Then I need to show up with that mood. I need to manifest that by thinking about it and envisioning it ahead of time. And our clothing, like our energy, all of that definitely plays a part.
You know what's funny? I was talking to one of my clients today. I got a facial from her. That's why I have no makeup on. But, it's putting me in a mood right now. No, she had mentioned, like, I redesigned her. I do graphic design as well. So I redesigned her logo, but I also do all the imagery. And so the website looks phenomenal. She hired a marketing team.
Awesome.
But so they use some stock photography stuff and she doesn't like them. And I'm like, then what are we waiting for? You know what I mean? I want that mood and that look and feel to translate everything that I do for you, whether it's graphics, photography, anything. I think it's so important to kind of stick with the look and feel of a brand. You know, there was this graphic too. It was like fall promotions. And I'm like, did you make this graphic? And it was awful. And I was just, and she's like, no, but my marketing team does. And I go, never let them do it again. This is why you hire me. You know what I mean? So, because I can give that look and feel and mood to that brand that no one else can.
And, you know, a good point to like to have an analogy here to like think outside brand is like the mood, guys. The mood goes around everything else. So, you know, let's say we're shooting a cake smash, right? Or a kid's birthday party. There's an energy that is just a kid's birthday party. And if I show up with that mood, then now I know what my story is, and I'm going to pull that mood out of all that stuff going on. So it is all encompassing to every shot you take. There's an underlying mood to the story. And it's the same with the brand. All the elements of a brand identity should have the same underlying mood, not just color or font. And that, you know, that goes along with just having nice structure to your styling of graphics and stuff. But what's that mood? What's that feeling? Like, if you could give one word to this girl that you're talking about, is she like an esthetician or a spa?
Esthetician, yeah.
So if you could pick one word that kind of is the feeling word that represents the mood of her business and brand, what would be that one word that goes through your graphics, your imagery, your copywriting on your site?
Luxury.
Luxury. Okay.
Yeah, like luxe, like, you know, like a very,
like,
high end diamonds, you know, like
luxe, I think of diamonds.
Very, you know, her name is Vain. So it's, you're so vain, you know, people, that type of mood and feeling of, you know, hitting that market of, you know, women that care about their skin and in the way they look and everything.
I love it. So like transitioning into some more specific tips around shooting and creating a visual mood. If you have photos to share, jump in, but I have a couple shots I wanted to just bring up. And I want those of you who are listening in, and by the way, if you guys are following along on, hey Molly, I saw you said hi earlier. You're following along on Instagram, you can always join our actual free class. I'm on my computer here. I'm seeing Alicia's beautiful face, but we're also about to bring up a screen share so we can actually examine some photos and really dive in and analyze the mood of these shots. So you can always head over to livewonderful.clickmeeting.com and join our classes. If you join at that link, you're going to see the next month's worth of free classes ready to go, and you can sign up for all 4 of them so you make sure that you're getting the reminders. We do send out our weekly emails to let you know, hey, go sign up. But if you want those reminders and just that click right into the class, go to livewonderful.clickmeeting.com and you'll be able to see what we're about to look at. So I want to share my screen, and the idea here is, you know, whether you're on your phone listening in or you're watching on the computer live, or maybe you're on YouTube later watching this, I want you to just look at the picture quickly and think of one word that is the mood of the feeling that you feel with these pictures. Okay, so I'm going to we're looking at Lightroom right now, guys. And those of you who are listening in live, wherever you are, if you have questions about anything that you see in the photos or the programs we're using, please chime in and ask, because that's why we're here live. So we can chat about anything. So what's the mood? When you look at this photo, what's a mood? Alicia, what word comes to mind for you when you think of this photo?
I mean, the greens and the blues definitely portray a certain mood when it comes to color in imagery.
Yeah, what feeling, emotional, like what, when you like overall like take it all in before we even go into colors and stuff.
Powerful.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're
powerful. Yeah, she's a powerful woman, you know, standing in a powerful position, and even her direction of sight and the way she's, you know, thinking.
And the symmetry creates this pull to you look into the shot, so that's very powerful when you can use symmetry that way. And getting back to what you were saying about color, I want to hint at this more, but I kind of want to bring it up as we're going through these shots. Guys, color is huge when it comes to mood. Yes, light, we talk about it all the time. Light is all that matters in photography. And color shows up in the midtones, in the middle of those lights and darks. But when you look at color, if you can look at warmer tones, yellower, warmer tones, like the greens in this shot, and then you can also see colder tones, like bluish colorings, like the sky. When you can combine those two, you get this great mix of being able to portray two versions of a mood, right? So powerful can sometimes mean overpowering, right? Or, you know, she's got this bit of boastness to her and confidence, the way her chin's up, and, you know, she's looking off into the distance like she doesn't care about you. But there's also something soft and serene and peaceful that these colors play off of. So think about color as we go through these too. How about this one? I got one word that comes up in this one. And I'll give you a little hint with this. These are three best friends. This was a high school senior shoot, but we also did, two of them are musicians. So we did their album cover for their EP as well.
Awesome.
But the word that comes to mind for me is attitude. One of them has a
girl in the middle.
Yeah, but each one of them has a different attitude, right? A different mood about life.
I think it's a vibe.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
They're giving off a vibe. They're like girl next door, you know, gonna strum my guitar in my backyard together.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I can see that.
This was a brand shoot, so of course this is something we're really like diving in and developing that feeling we want to get. It's not just a candid shot and getting someone's personality. We need to portray a certain mood. So, you know, the word that comes to mind for me is welcoming. There's a sense of not so much comfort, but just a welcoming feeling that she's giving, or respect too. Like there's this uppityness to her where she's engaging in you. She's respecting who you are and introducing herself.
Yeah. No, you captured that perfectly. And the very light colors that, you know, the touch of the light colors and the grays and the whites definitely have that welcoming, open feeling.
Totally. And, you know, I remember finishing this shoot thinking the background might be a little too busy. But she is a workaholic and she is a consultant. So she's not a doctor's office. She's not a therapist. Someone like that, you might want to create a little bit more calming, less busyness in the background, have a more therapeutic, like peaceful picture simply by removing elements so that it's not such a busy photo. But she's this high-powered businesswoman. This is her office. You come and sit down with her, and you're only in there for a few minutes. So, that busyness in the end didn't bother me as much. I want to skip ahead. Well, this one's kind of cool. So what do you think of when I know you probably haven't seen this photo before, but what kind of do you think of it?
I'm obsessed with sunsets, so
Mesmerized.
yeah, or just, I don't know. I love sunsets in the sky. So like love comes to mind for me. Like sitting there calm, like I just feel like a blanket of love.
Well, you said blanket. You know what it feels like to me when you say love is, to me, that is like the night is ending and I'm going to wrap myself in a blanket and go to sleep. It's just this like serene end of the evening peacefulness to it. And this look and feeling, guys, that we're talking about also comes in the shape of your lens. So this is a wide angle lens, and I'm up higher and my horizon line is down low, which means my camera isn't tilted down. That would put my horizon line at the top. My camera's tilted up at the sky, bringing my horizon line down to the bottom half of the frame. And simply by wide angle lens and horizon line somewhere, we created this like scooping effect with the sky, right? And that's where that blanket of love feeling comes in.
I know it sounds kind of out there, but the ocean in water calms me 100%. I'm sure everybody feels that mood when they are near the water or look at pictures of the water. And I love that you gave it that effect of the long exposure. So the clouds are you're moving with the clouds, and the water feels like it's very, still and frosty, so it's kind of cool.
Yeah, there's a peacefulness to that too. You're right. So those clouds, that scooping effect isn't just the fact that it's a wide angle lens pulling in more clouds. It's also that this is, like Alicia said, it's a long exposure, and those clouds are moving over a period of time. We're capturing it all over that time. So I talk about it a lot. I think even in our last webinar, we talked about shutter speed, but slow shutters, guys, are really incredible to work with, especially when you're trying to create that serene mood, because they're not how we see normally. When I'm standing there, I hear cars honking and the lap of the waves crashing on the docks, and you're not really paying attention to these slow moving clouds. But when you do get them in a long exposure, that final still image creates that scooping effect of those clouds moving, and it changes the mood. I think last week with Lauren, we were talking about the New York shot behind me. Where is it? There it is. And it was the opposite feeling. There was this rush of intensity of New York that I wanted to capture, this high energy, but we use that long exposure for the same reason. So how about this one?
Ooh.
This is a shot. I have to give a shout out to Gina. This is one of our great students who's been through a lot of our classes. And one of my favorite things about continuing helping past students or people continuing to excel even after our beginner class is everyone takes this hobby into a whole nother direction. So Gina's at home with kids, and she's just got this crazy lifestyle and these dogs. So the kids were not into having pictures taken, but the dog she's been training. So this is simply a black sheet up around a windowsill. She has a black dog. And it's
very hard to shoot black on black.
But there is a mood that she created with this, right?
Oh, I love the dramatic mood. I love it. I love it.
I do too. Not only was I like stoked to see this and proud of her for getting such a unique shot, but she really played into and thought ahead of time about the mood she wanted to create. This dog is very much, her old little teddy bear, and she wanted to create that, dark, not dark as in mean, but look at him. He looks like a big fluffy pup. Those puppy dog eyes I love to look at. And look where your eye goes. It goes directly to his eye, right? That's because she used light to pull you in sideways to a mood too. So this isn't so much a silhouette, guys. This is actually directional lighting. And when you put your lighting on the side, you're going to create a bolder effect. It's really great for, I love to use it with sports. It's more of a harsher lighting. Not great for beautiful light portraits like the high school portraits I just finished doing. You want something much softer looking there, more in front. So color, but also direction of light helps play into that mood too. I'm going to bring up two more, and Alicia, if you have any, you're welcome.
Yours are great right now. I mean, I have some if you want, but
now, all right,
yeah. This is great.
So I'm going to bring up just a few more. This one, I like to talk about feeling, the word feeling again with mood, because the words catch your attention, right? So you could say the word brave is a part of this mood, which it is. This was an event called I Am Brave that it was a women's conference that I went and shot. It was a 13-hour conference. And it was a conference about women in business and how in their transformational stories. So it is called I Am Brave. But look at the place where I'm taking the photo from. Be the viewer soaking in this experience, right? Because that's the point of visual storytelling, is that we want you to feel the experience of what it was like to be there for real. So Alicia, I know you've shot stuff like this before, but even just women growing in business, I know you would love the idea of attending something like this. So when you see a shot like this, or if you were to go to their website and see this photo, like what mood comes to mind for you?
Uplifting, inspirational.
Yeah.
You know, the crowd obviously has this very fuchsia or purpley kind of spotlit, darker, vibe to the audience, but she is lit up on the stage, and the colors are just like wrapping her and making her feel, making everybody just directly look to her. I am brave. I am, I'm going to be your inspiration. I'm going to be, your guide, your mentor. So
empowering. Yeah.
Empowering. Yeah.
That's same synonyms to, inspiring. You look up to her. She pulls you in. You feel confident just by watching her confidence. So,
you definitely got this look and feel of the mood in this photo, because you got a little bit of hair lit on certain people, in the audience, and the way you got like that, the little like in between them, like it kind of is like a V.
It draws you in, yes.
Yeah, it draws you in right to her. So
that was a big part, when I'm there's another thing we can talk about with mood here, which is you can create the mood, or you can sit back and be an observer of the mood, right? So when I'm shooting a conference like this, I don't get to create the mood. I need to be an observer. And we have to remember as photographers what our job is, what our why is, what's that story we're whether we're paid or not, what's that story that we need to bring across? And in this case, it was marketing material and showing the world what's it like to be at an I Am Brave conference, right? Mm-hmm. And so I don't get to tell people where to stand. I don't get to tell her to look at me and smile like I would, a portrait shoot. And when we have to be present and just be observant to the mood, it's really important that we get an assessment of the whole room, right? And when I quickly realized that these women in the audience were not the ones that were going to be coming up on stage, they were the ones who aren't confident. I wanted to get their perspective. And so I found a couple of seats throughout the audience where I knew I could move my chair and see through a group of these people, and it would feel like you were in these women's viewpoint, right? There are other shots of this that I'm completely sideways at the audience. You can't even see this I am brave sign. And it's someone, sideways going like this, talking to the audience. So it's this powerful speaker, zoomed in shot. But yeah, when we are not privy to having control of the situation and we still need to capture that true story, we have to pay attention to the mood that's already there and find ourselves fitting into it. And that is seriously true for when you're shooting kids or wildlife or anything that that you would interrupt the natural, organicness of what's going on. And if you want to keep that reality and you don't want to interrupt it, we have to kind of sit back and feel into that mood. Whereas this, I made her feel that way to capture the mood of happy-go-lucky, swinging in the hammock, just having a grand old time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in this portrait shoot, I'll use these two pictures. I'll switch back and forth between them to talk again a little bit about color, guys. So these were taken, a couple seconds between each other. But there's an obvious difference of feeling, right? And yes, we can talk about the smile and no smile, but what else do you feel like when you think of the differences in the moods here? What comes up for you, Alicia? What do you think?
I mean, I like them both. I think I like the darker silhouetted look a little. I mean, sorry, with darker better. This one I like better.
Oh, okay.
So the brighter one, yeah, there's something I'm drawn to the second one more. The darker one, the more moody, dramatic one instead of the light and happy one. I don't know why, but I'm sure every single person, I'm curious to what she likes better, to be honest.
When you I love that you like this one more, and we could talk about opinions, and you're right, everyone's drawn to different things. I just finished a high school senior shoot. I think it's still on our Instagram stories. And I loved the first shot that Mom ended up picking. You'll see me kind of sneak peek it. The girl is so serious and sweet, and all her other photos are like, Mom's favorite photo is this serene, no smile, big eye look, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I think a lot of times we might be more attracted to these moodier photos simply because we aren't used to them as much. And the world of portrait photography is like, everyone, let's be happy.
Yes. No, there's something beautiful about, there's a windstorm happening here. I don't know what's going on. There's something beautiful about the simplicity of her just being her instead of having to crack a smile and she's looking away, and there's something deeper and darker about her eyes. There's beauty in this simplicity of her just kind of hanging out there.
And so obviously these are not right out of camera, and maybe that's not obvious, but these have been edited, right? And I would say all of the photos that you ever see from a professional have probably been edited, or they're going to tell you, hey, this isn't edited, and they're going to show you before and after, which we do quite often. These have been edited, right? So out of camera, they probably look more like this out of camera, right? So when we think about editing, guys, in photo editing, we can use not just the shot we took and the moment and the feeling and edit it properly to be true to what was actually the light we saw and her hair color being proper and her eye color. We can do all that beautifully, right? And that's basically what I did here. But we can take it a step further with photo editing and really emphasize a mood that we're going for by playing off the light and the color that is already within our shot. So the key element there is already in our shot, right? So we need to get the shot as best we can in camera. And then, this program we're showing them to you in Lightroom is the program we use to edit. And from there, what I've done, right, and Alicia said it, bright and airy, this more golden vibe, dark and moody, right?
Mm-hmm.
This photo, I lightened her a little bit, lightened her skin, opened up the shadows on her face a little bit so she's softer. And I tilted the colors a little bit warmer. I went more to my yellow tones, right? So the grass under her is a little yellower, the hammock, her skin tone is a little bit more vibrant because there's a pop of yellow to it. And of course, this cute blonde curls. All of that I pulled a little bit brighter and a little bit warmer, and that emphasized this happy mood that's on her face, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what did I do with this shot? I did the opposite, right?
Mm-hmm.
I darkened her tones, not too dark. I still have proper lighting on her, but I darkened my greens. I actually didn't darken my yellows. I darkened my greens and I moved them more into the blues, colder. Look at her skin. Just her skin alone is more yellow and more blue. Mm-hmm. And I know it's not actually blue, but it's cooler. It's colder in color. So we can play a lot with our mood simply by focusing in our post-editing program and really pulling out those colors that we want and the amount of light we want to show up in different places. I think the last thing I added to this was a little bit of dark vignetting around the edges to really bring you into that solemn mood of her just kind of looking off in contemplative,
That was the word I was trying to come up with, the vignetting.
Yes.
I can tell.
So take a look at the shots you're getting, guys. And even just your past photos, a great place to start is just asking yourself, what's a word that represents that mood, right? And then when you go out and you shoot again, what mood do you want to create? How can you bring your mood into that to capture it naturally? Or maybe you want to sit back and observe the mood a little bit. Whatever you do, capture that best shot you can in camera and know that there's always post-production, we call it, photo editing, that you can emphasize, draw attention to certain colors and different lighting areas to help you emphasize that mood even more. I'm looking forward to seeing what you did with Boston Man. That's got to have some moody shots in it.
I can show you one before we leave if you want.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
I'll show you the top one here.
Let me stop sharing and I will bring us back up and then you can bring that photo up.
Not this one. This one.
Very cool.
So you can see a very kind of creative, I don't know what happened, moody vibe happening here.
And look at the lights in the background of the shots, right, guys? So she might, I don't know if she's using her own lighting or not, but there's already light there that's creating a mood. So she can play into that mood with her models or even, anything else she's shooting. Yeah, that's great.
This place is a very creative place in itself. It had really cool art on the walls, velvet couches, all different colors. So I had to play into that. I did have a flash on top of my camera. It was a very difficult place to shoot, but yeah, it was fun.
I love it. So, I love that you have a hot chick on the cover of Boston Man's photo. I love it.
Venue.
So there you have it, guys. The word this week is mood. Check out our Instagram. We've got some really great quotes that we put up there on our stories too. Just helping you feel into a good mood, have a good vibe. I like that word too. The vibe is your mood. Mm-hmm. And if you're here in Orlando, guys, we are here in the studio this weekend. Come join us. We're teaching Lightroom. That's our photo editing and photo retouching classes. We've got a couple slots left in the class. You'll be hanging out right here. We put up the big screen, and I'll be demoing live for you how we edit our photos, how we organize our photos. So head on over to livewonderful.com/tours. You can check that out. go check out Alicia's Boston Man shoots. Hopefully she'll post some pictures soon. And join us next week, every week, Wednesday at 4 p.m. We will be sharing another Wednesday Wisdom Word of the Wise to help you live wonderful and give you lots of great photo tips. So,
right.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Go have food.
You'll be in a good mood. We'll see you later.